If this were to happen, Kamran, this would require, I won't say rethink within our entire foreign policy apparatus. I think it will require a fresh kind of fresh way of looking at what our role should be. We've always looked at our foreign policy from the Indian prism for obvious reasons. But now looking west is a new concept. I think. I mean, we haven't really. I don't think our state has ever, worked out a certain clear, dominant role in that region. So if this were to happen, it would require a reframing of our way of looking at things. And governments are terrible at doing that. I'm sure governments are.
We need a Look West initiative.
Sir, with your bureaucracies, they are the most conservative institution in the world. If the bureaucracy could change with time, Pakistan ka ye hal na hota. So whether it's the foreign policy bureaucracy or the other they're the same. So do you think they have it within them to redraw the entire concepts?
I think here I would give, the Pakistani policymakers some credit that some or the other, in difficult situations, we some or the other manage to, navigate. The big question, we always have this, Iran, China, US, conflict and rivalry, and we are becoming a sandwich. Look that we have actually used this as a leverage. And probably after this Islamabad, talk, I think in China, in Beijing, as well as in Washington, they probably feel that Pakistan being in the good books of both powers is good for us, because sometimes we need that. This is one advantage. When it comes to the Gulf countries, I think this conflict has broken many myths. First, because there had always been this fear of, if US and Israel attacked Iran then retaliating, targeting all the Gulf countries, the entire Gulf, up in the flames. But people earlier thought that, yes, there might be a scenario, but the cost is too high and nobody would take that risk.
Right.
But now this has happened. And this is a wake-up call for the Gulf countries. So earlier they thought, okay, they have outsourced their security and defense to the outside powers while they enjoy the perks and privileges of whatever natural resources they have. Now they have considerably divert their resources to have their own homegrown indigenous national security and defense policy.
Yeah.
And in that context, I think Pakistan certainly will have a very important role. And I see a very positive role for Pakistan in that scenario. And I'm sure that the way so far we have played our cards, our policymakers must have also been thinking about not just in the short and medium term, but in the long term as well.